Give me a second. The A.
Where smart
The A Show.
where smart is the new sexy.
And now, April Hunter.
Good evening, legends. Welcome to the A Show, where we have Big Ray back in the studio. Hi, Ray.
Yeet! What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, I was gone, and now I was lost, and now I am found. And we have Adam. This is Adam, right?
Oh, that's Alex. Yeah.
Alex in the chat. Welcome. Says good evening.
Yeah.
And I say good evening to you, my friend.
Big Wig, Alex. Hi.
Okay.
Hi for everybody joining us. Winona. See you guys coming into our chat. Hello, hello. Hopefully things will run a little smoother this week.
Bad start.
Huh?
I said it's a shitty start. I was all messed up here.
I know. So we're hey, you know what? We're not the we don't have an actual studio. We're doing this from our homes and we're learning as we go. So, Big Wig, thank you. Very, very sweet. So,
we wanted to miss you, Ray, but April was fantastic last week. All right, so you're banned. Hold on. How do you ban him?
I'll tell you what, I've never done this show by myself, right? So I started having a panic attack when people are telling me that the screen is frozen. So I have this complete freak out in my head, but outwardly I'm trying to be calm, right? Mm-hmm. So in my head, I'm freaking out. Mm-hmm. So Eva's saying that Twitch is not working. Is that true?
No,
we're on Rumble, Twitch.
Yeah.
We're everywhere.
Yeah. That's what it says here. It shows that it's showing up here. I'll check my phone real quick to see if it's popping up here.
So yeah, I'm panicking. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to handle the comments. I'm trying to pay attention to the chat. I'm trying to keep on with what we're going to talk about. I'm trying to throw the ball over. We're working. We're doing it.
That's Twitch right there.
Yeah. Yes. Trying to throw the ball over to Wade Hunt Williams, who was helping me out last week. And but inside, like when people are like, "Oh, the screen is frozen," I'm like, "Oh, I accounted for everything except for that." So I back out, I come back in, and I'm just like, "Oh my God, what do I do?"
Listen, in that case, and I'm gonna give some advice to anyone who does audio podcasts or whatever video podcast. In that case, April, Wade was right on point. Sometimes you can't do anything about it. It's an internet issue. So you just as long as the audio is clear, which it was perfect, then you're fine.
Yeah, I was mortified. I didn't even push the show. And then I listened to the show. And the show is actually pretty decent.
Yeah, it was really good.
I was just like, oh my God, okay, well, it still turned out all right if you just listen to it. But the video is horrible. And you guys in the chat, hello to everybody. You guys were great on the show because you were having all the great comments and questions. So thank you for that, because you really contributed a lot last week and you helped me out tremendously. So I am very grateful. So thank you. So can you guys see my boobs move this week?
Yes, we can. I'm going to give a shout out to War Demon. I'm going to give him the old.
Yeah, War Demon. Hey, yo.
Let me do it. Like, hold on.
Okay. All right. Do it.
Hey, yo.
Not bad, I feel like that's how War Demon enters the chat.
Oh,
when he comes in, he goes, hey, yo.
Hey, yo. I am the bad guy.
And Allie, hello. Eva, hopefully everything's working for you now. Everybody joining us, thank you. So we have some interesting stuff to talk about this week. We're going to talk about, is it possible? There's a two-part system coming from here and from here, say, targeting our youth to turn them into weaker people. So, and Ray's got some stories. He's got something about Gavin Newsom, who is once again making headlines. Media loves this guy. We were going to talk about. I went to the Wizard of Oz
Ooh.
Museum this past week with my cousin Eva, and we had a
Oh,
blast. And it was so much more in depth than I thought it would be. And I didn't realize the social commentary behind it.
oh yeah.
So it was a fascinating discovery there. So we're going to talk about that. I didn't get a chance to read some of this to you guys last week, but it was such a cool concept. I wanted to read you like the first couple pages. Um, and we have some news that you might not have heard about
All right. So
as well.
I'm
So
gonna
Chuck is joining.
I gotta stop you.
Yo,
I have to stop you. When I stop you, I stop you for a reason. April,
stop me, stop me.
I don't know what's going on with
Okay,
your internet. It's the shits. Um,
Ken.
it is. It is the shits. So we're gonna have to
Okay.
apologize for that. April, she's listen, here's the deal. In Florida, they're paying a lot of money for light bills and stuff like that. So she's stealing her friends, her neighbor's internet.
I am
What?
paying good money for this.
Oh,
Thank you. I am paying good money for this. Let me see if I can shut things off and maybe it'll help. Uh,
why is my hold on?
let's
I'm having
see.
a problem here now. Uh-oh. Oh, I'm good. I gotta plug something in, so I'm gonna disappear from the camera, but I am here. I'm not going anywhere. Stand by, okay?
Okay. All right. So was it bad? Or you guys? I am streaming, yes. And I'm using Wi-Fi. So big week. So it's not the internet. It's just her medication. She freezes. So yeah, pretty much. So sorry about that. So
I'm back. Oh wait, let me
the
switch
the
it back
side
over.
effects to all these things.
All right, and I also have a story. It's an unfortunate story about a firefighter here in New York City losing his job. And I'll break it down. I'll explain to
Okay.
you what happens. It's pretty much sucks, and it's a social commentary on what's become more important here, apparently in
Okay.
New York in the United States. So, but yeah, so we got a ton of things to talk about. I really wanted to play you this commercial. I wanted to kind of kick it off with this, if that's okay with you,
Sure. Let's do it.
because
Uh,
I wanted to continue off the conversation you and Wade were having last week, and I thought it was a really interesting, really great conversation regarding how people use fear to control.
mhm.
That's what they've been doing a
It's
lot.
a powerful emotion.
Very powerful. So I'm gonna play you guys a commercial, not a commercial. What's an ad? I call it the commercial. It's an ad. And this ad was. I'm actually gonna put this up really quickly before I even play the ad, so you guys can see. As you can see here, Gavin Newsom. He actually tweeted out. It says Alabama's abortion ban has no exceptions for rape or incest. Now, Republicans are trying to criminalize young women, young women's travel to receive abortion care. We cannot let them get away with this. And I want to point out really quickly. And I took the screenshot a few days ago. It has
Mhm.
3 million views and it has only 15,000 likes. What that means is that this tweet is getting obliterated. If you go onto Gavin Newsom's page, it is getting torn down. But let's play this little ad. And April, you haven't seen this yet, right?
I haven't seen it, and I don't know about any of the stories that you're bringing up because you said you wanted me to react to them.
Okay. So, chat, April, I'm going to play you this ad. And when the ad finishes, I don't want to say anything. I want
Okay.
you to tell me what you think. Here we go, guys.
We're almost there. You're gonna make it.
Trump Republicans want to criminalize young Alabama women who travel for reproductive care.
Miss, I'm going to need you to step out of the vehicle, take a pregnancy test.
Stop them by taking action at righttotravel.org. Campaign for Democracy Group is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Oh my God, what the fuck? Oh my God. Did somebody actually paid for that commercial? Good money for that?
Yep.
I'm going to need you to step out of the car to take a pregnancy test?
Isn't that what's going to happen? I was dying for you to see this, but I was hoping you didn't see it to get
No,
up.
I didn't see that. That's so okay. First off, they can't do that. It's a violation of
Oh,
rights.
oh,
So, I mean, they can't do that yet. If you don't start standing up for yourselves, the
mhm.
craziness that's going on, we're going to get to a point where they can do stuff like that. But no, they cannot do that. I'm gonna assume that this is an extreme and satirical. Oh my God.
Well, this is serious. Again,
What do you?
again, April, and April's gonna be cutting in and out. Like right now, she's totally frozen. Now she's back.
No, I'm not
Um,
frozen. I'm thinking. So-
oh no, you were frozen.
okay.
but
Okay.
but like I said, and I agree with War Demon. What the fucking fuck?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Me
Gavin
too.
Newsom, this is pinned to his Twitter account. This is him who put it over. I'm
But
sorry.
isn't he how he is
So
something?
is he?
Yeah. Yeah. Not good. He's something not good. It's interesting because wasn't he just put back up to be pulled out again? Like they did the thing. I don't know what it's called. Like I want to say reformation. Wasn't it something where they wanted to get rid of him a
Mhm.
couple of years ago?
Oh yeah.
And they did another like election in the middle of his term. And by that time, everybody who hated his guts had already moved to Texas and Florida and Montana. So he stayed in, but he stayed in by the skin of his teeth.
Mhm.
And then I think they suggested doing that again now with the people that they're there and they like him. Isn't that what's happening? Am I wrong on that?
No, you're pretty much on point. I
Okay.
just, but the thing is that they went in. They're like Trump. They put Trump's name on this shit.
So okay, so correct me if I'm wrong. I saw I saw that. Sorry, I'm squishing around because
It's all right.
my back hurts.
It's all right.
I saw that they did a total abortion ban in Arizona.
Mhm.
Okay, and I saw Trump actually go up against that.
Mm.
Am I mistaken? Because he said
No, you're
that
not.
they were going to overturn that. The states, it's not what the people want, and that the states would, states' rights, but it was too extreme. I think I'm not quoting verbatim, but that this was too extreme and this is not what the people want. So I could swear that he was the other way. I'm not
Yeah.
saying he's pro-life, but I'm saying that he's saying this is not what the people want.
He's not pro-life, but he is making an addendum. I guess what would you call it? Like he's saying,
He's leaving room for error.
like, listen, man, if you get raped, you're not gonna have to, live with this child. What did Eva say there? I suspect.
Eva says, I suspect Trump could sue them for that ad. Can you? It's political.
It is defamation.
It is, but
Interesting. So I just to continue the conversation.
that is low. That's a low. I mean, I've seen low before.
It's fucked up. Listen, here's the deal, man.
Neil Brennan was talking about how low they go sometimes on his comedy special.
Fear is such a powerful tool, but the truth is, and whether you're religious or not, I believe that me personally, I believe fear is just a tool of evil, tool of the devil, and we as human beings who have, for me, the spirit of God, I believe we're more powerful than fear, and this is why I'm saying that people who allow these fear tactics, this COVID-19 when it was going around, and they go from COVID to the bird flu, and now it's back to the bird flu, and then it's either
Don't forget
this
the
or that.
dengue fever, the
It's just
measles.
so much, and
Yeah.
and let me just make it clear: people did die from COVID related issues. I do believe that.
Or COVID treatments that were experimental, and the patent was owned by Fauci.
Absolutely. But the fact of the matter is that they scared you to staying home. I mean, there's still literal. I can't believe it's 2024 April. You see, I'm sitting here on the D train. This is a train I take home every day from work. It's empty right now because nobody wants to be here with me because I'm smoking. But smoking is apparently allowed in the MTA now, apparently, and drinking and drugs. And anyway, it doesn't matter. And I actually see people still walking onto the train, young people, not only with their with their gimmicks that in support of Palestine, but also wearing masks and sometimes gloves and goggles, and I'm just like, it's 4 years later.
Mm-hmm.
People still are living in fear.
They are living terrified. Oh, and to backtrack for a second, Winona says Trump's not really pro or con anything. If you actually listen to what he says, which a lot of people don't have the capability to listen to what he says. And again, we're not right or left here, but listening to all sides is a good thing. if you actually listen to what he says, he wants to put power back into the people's and the state's hands as it should be, and as it was. I'm adding this part, as it was intended to be.
Well, people will say that we have what's called Trump derangement syndrome or something like that, or or whatever. But the truth is that,
I haven't heard that one in a while.
well, I heard it recently through
Hmm.
from a friend, believe it or not. But the truth of the matter is this: there's no way I'm voting. This is my personal opinion. I'm not voting for this regime. I'm not gonna allow this regime to further tear down this country. This is my personal
Oh,
opinion.
God, no. Not when you have people out there like Kennedy and Trump. Like JFK Jr. he's making a lot of strides. Trump, we were in a good situation. I never voted for him, but in hindsight, when I look back at the things he's done, yeah, I mean, we were in a decent place. You wouldn't know that by what the media says, but if you actually, check the numbers and do your own, do your own everything, you can see it.
Well, people will say you're stupid for that, though.
I don't
for
care.
thinking that.
People say I'm stupid for everything.
But then, it's like I just look at the way the world was 5 years ago, and the deterioration of because what I was what was told to me when I voted for Biden. I did back in the day. I voted for Biden. The truth of the matter is that I was told that if Trump remained president, there would be lawlessness, which there is now. There would be fear, which there is now. There would be hate, which there is so much of it now.
There would be war.
There will be wars, which there's a war now every single day.
There would be
everywhere.
inflation. Gas would go to almost $4 a gallon. I remember all of that. And they put all that fear into us, and everything they said that would happen under that administration is happening under this administration.
So common sense would just tell you that it was bullshit. It was bullshit. This is what they wanted. They wanted you to, and then 4 years later, believe it or not, you still have people blaming Donald Trump for this. It's been 4 years.
Well, who was it? Somebody said, I don't know who it was, is 1% of the people are able to think freely. 2% believe they're thinking freely, and the other 97% are just going along with the flow. I'm not sure it's that much anymore. I do believe we are seeing a real awakening.
Yeah.
I watched Kennedy on Bill Maher last week, and he got on there. He said 52% of Americans believe that that somebody they know, love, or related to has died from the shot, from the vax. And to be that awakened now and aware that of the genocide and the crimes against humanity that's going on, if you're awakened to the big pharma, to the bullshit that's going on and how they're running the world, and State Street and Vanguard and BlackRock, and how they're doing all of this, if you're awakened to the fact that they're willing to create a virus and let people die, and then create the solution and kill people, and everybody's okay with that in the name of profit, and we're the ones that pay for it. If you're awakened to that, then you're going to start digging even deeper and wondering.
You're saying there's an awakening. I listened to a show. A lot of people don't like the guy. I like the guy. I listen to Louder with Crowder, and I've been listening to this guy for a long time, and he's never done this before. He just went on his last episode. They have never endorsed a presidential. They never endorsed anybody for president. They wouldn't endorse Obama, Biden, anyone. And this is the first time that they're like, we cannot allow the country, if 4 more years of this, this country would be a third world country. It would be a third world country. And they're actually Louder with Crowder. Steven Crowder is actually endorsing. He's endorsing Trump, and what they're doing is also, and you're talking about awakening, and you're talking about people making moves and saying this is enough. They're actually they're crowdfunding this thing where they're going to have people like you and me, like you and I, April, in the streets, paid for by the group that's run by the Crowder, by Steven Crowder, actually live at the polling places to watch out for those
I saw that.
for those paddy wagons that just
Yeah.
pulled up with the, with the envelopes and stuff. And
Yeah.
all right. So Daryl, you say, keep in mind, Trump is a convicted felon. Is he convicted? Has he been
I
convicted?
don't think he's convicted.
All right. Anyway,
So I
who
think
may,
he's got a lot of indictments, but you can basically, quite
who may
honestly,
be,
you can
who
indict a
may,
ham sandwich.
hold on, who may be going to jail as we speak. Do you really believe a convicted felon would be president? Well, Biden is.
Hmm.
The President Biden actually hid multiple
Mhm.
documents in his home. President Biden had back end relationships with China, and
Mhm.
also his son was negotiating a lot of very, very illegal activities, utilizing the resources of the presidential seat or the vice presidential seat at the time. And he's
Well,
still
something you
doing it
guys
to this
both have to
day.
remember too. Who is, you got to dig a little deeper. You can't just say, keep in mind, Trump is a convicted felon. First off, who convicted him?
Oh, the
Who
judge.
who put all this out there?
Oh,
So, and hi to everybody joining us late. And hello, hello, hello. Hi, Miss T.
Brandon.
And hello, Daryl. Who's doing all of this? Who's, and yeah, Bigwig says he's not a convicted felon. He's lost civil suits, but he has appealed. So you have to remember who owns these judges. What basis are they doing? I want to show you something too. So myself and many people around me are all actors. We do side gigs. Look at this, you guys.
It says pro Biden testimonials. What does it say there? I can't really read
It's a
it.
call for work for actors.
Oh yes. I've heard of that.
They're paying actors to do pro Biden testimonials. Can you read it?
Mm-hmm. It says 65 to 85.
Yeah, it's non-union, commercial, plus 20% to the agency, Greater Atlanta area. Senior men at work, 65 to 85 years old, Hispanic, white men, senior men of all kinds who are still working and going strong, supporters of President Biden who are voting for him again. Lots to share on the topic, talent to portray, people who want to work and share their, there you go. So they will pay you.
So wait a second, you
get
that?
$500 to put this. Yeah, if you're an actor and you want to get paid, you can do a pro Biden testimonial.
Mm.
So they have to pay people to endorse. So,
but I mean, listen, if you decided you wanted to support an alleged pedophile and a person that is using our resources to benefit and to cover up for his son, who is a terrible human being, in my humble opinion. I mean, go for it, man. If you can think for yourself and say that you are better off with this economy, if you are better off going to the grocery store and buying a dozen eggs, if you can say to yourself that you're cool with gas being almost triple at this point, if you can say to yourself that taking public transportation, people getting pushed in front of the trains at record rates, people getting shot in the street at record rates, police officers having their power stripped from them, people from other countries coming into this country and saying that what you believe, your freedom, you have no freedom. It's what we believe.
mm-hmm.
And if you don't believe, then you're full of hate. If you're down with it, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But that's your choice. I'm just telling you, I'm not dealing with that anymore. I'm making my voice heard. And if you're down with it, then cool, good for you. I can't afford to. I can't.
Like a bag of grocery store coffee, like 8 o'clock coffee, was like $8 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Go see Canada. You're right.
$16 now. So someone's talking about the insurrection. Okay, technically, the technical definition of an insurrection is violence. That is a key word for the definition of an
like the kids that are taking over the colleges and
that's
they're destroying property.
Okay,
and
so somebody War Demon brought up the insurrection that Trump allegedly caused, which he did not. They're finding out that there was no actual these insurrection charges did not stick. Everything is being reversed, and when there is an insurrection, there is violence. So if you look at what happened technically in Washington with the BLM, with what's going on with the Palestine stuff. These are insurrections. When it's violent and it involves the government, that is an insurrection. So it's crazy how like one thing and not the other. And this is why the media was so keen to edit out the footage. When we got to see all the rest of the footage, you'll see how peaceful it was. So they wanted to keep all that footage from us to show that it was actually really nonviolent. So
I gotta show you something, April. You're talking about how they're trying to get people to pay.
mhm.
Check this out. This report just came out. It says, and I quote, OnlyFans creator Farah Khalidi claims she
Khalidi.
would Khalidi she claims she was paid to spread political propaganda for the Biden administration.
Yeah.
She's a very popular OnlyFans creator. You can find it yourself.
I think, I believe that's going everywhere. I mean, if you even look on dating sites, you'll see, like, my friend was talking about that. He was saying that there's a lot of women that will say that, they're pro left. Don't even contact me if you are if you're right wing. And I think a lot of guys are so led by their wangs that they're like, well, okay, maybe I should, So I think it's everywhere. It's infiltrated everywhere because we're a corporatism.
Can we let me just quickly hear what she has to say. I'm just curious.
Oh, yeah,
I
do
haven't
it.
heard this. Let me see.
So you were in school. You were still in college when you started as a TikTok person, right? Or you started OnlyFans when you were in school too?
It's 2 minutes
No,
long.
I started TikTok like the spring semester of my senior year, and I was like, fuck, I finally have to start applying for law school. And then female privilege, life is so easy for a woman. Obviously, I lucked out. I'm just kidding. I lucked out, and then TikTok was basically full time for me. I think I was taking ads by the time I graduated college from like the Biden administration and Planned Parenthood and like dating apps and stuff. So it was like fully financially, sustainable.
Dating
So you were
apps.
getting the Biden administration was buying ads from you,
Yeah, I was doing full on political propaganda.
and they would really with like what kind of like Biden created 10 million jobs this
Yeah,
year.
honestly, and the funny thing is, they're like, do not disclose this is an ad because they're like, technically it's not a product, so you don't have to disclose it's an ad. Because I think they just wanted like some edgy girl of color to just tell people, like when they nominated like Ketanji Brown Jackson, they're like,
Oh,
can you
wow.
say like as a person of color, that you feel reflected? And it's like a white woman emailing this to me, and she's like giving me this script, and I'm like, no. And she's like, please. And I'm like, no, I'll like talk about the news of it, but I'm not gonna be like, I'm not gonna have a white person tell me to be like, this is how I feel as a person of color. Like, it's just so, I think that black pilled me slightly on like, political propaganda
So
stuff.
the Biden administration sees, oh, here's this young.
Yeah, I mean, they use like a conduit. It's not like, you know what I mean? It's not Biden, but it's like a third party. You know what I mean? It's like a media company that's doing it on his behalf. I'm not blaming him for this.
Yeah. And the message is like, because you're a dark-skinned woman, you will be inspired by Ketanji Brown Jackson and all the kids should support her.
Yeah, they're like, basically as like another black person, just say that like you feel reflected by Ketanji. I'm like, no, I'll talk about like Ketanji's background and her accomplishments, but like I never, you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna say like the corny stuff. Even if it was a brown person emailing it to me, I'm like, no, that's not like how I feel. Like I don't look at like Ketanji and feel like, wow.
Yeah.
So interesting. I happened to just stumble upon this. Wow, because when you mentioned about people getting paid, that was one of the top stories, and we'll talk about this in a few minutes. But wow, interesting.
Yeah, we're always offered to be paid and push things that don't align with our values, and some people take it, and some people don't. So you need to understand something, you guys out there watching and listening. And hello, Laquiva, how are you doing? So you need to understand that when you are sharing headlines, you are promoting clickable content where somebody else is making money. So doing that isn't always the best idea.
Daryl, listen, man, I get you. He says the article was page 6 of the New York Post, which is so on the slant for Trump. It's ridiculous. It's ludicrous. But here's the thing. If you look at NBC, ABC, CBS, all left-leaning political pundits, I would say, or these people affiliated. So that's 3 of the major networks. The New York Times, the Daily News in New York City itself, the LA Times, any of the Times, they're all very left-leaning. The New York Post is one of the very few, if only, I think one of the only like newspapers that report on the other side. So
Mm.
if you got 10 against 1, I mean, what does it kind of tell you? Does it tell you something? Or, I mean, I don't know. Am I off here, April?
I don't read any of them. I go to alternative media for
And just so you know, let me just tell
my
you real quick.
news.
Just so
I
you
don't
know,
trust any of that
just so you know,
legacy crap.
I stopped watching Fox because they're full of shit. And I take everything with a grain of salt. You know what I go through?
Yeah.
You know what I go
Fox was
by?
very right leaning, and they're nothing but fear and
Full of
lies too at
shit.
times. Yeah.
You know what I go by, April?
Hmm.
What I see with my eyes, what I experience with my wallet.
Yeah.
You know, what I see in the fear of that little Spanish lady that takes the train with me at 12 o'clock, and she decides to stand close to me because there's some crazy motherfucker yelling and screaming obscenities at the other end of the platform. And she looks to me to feel safe, and she doesn't know me from a hole in the wall. This is what I go by. But I'm sure, I mean, if you think the world's a better place and you want 4 more years of what's going on now and you think it's just gonna get better like that, I mean, more power to you.
Nope. I
Why
don't.
not?
No, it's gotten bad, and I would never have been able to predict that it would be this bad.
No?
Never. I'm very disappointed. I will admit, I'm very, very, very disappointed and insulted that all these people will get off their asses and protest over Palestine,
Hey, get a
but
job.
they never did that, huh?
I said, get a job.
Yeah, they never did that over the medical mandates, over the things happening here in the United States that mattered, that where they were having their own rights stripped. So it's very, very heartbreaking to me to see the things that they should have stood up for in this country, but they will go out and protest a war that has been going on for literally hundreds of years. It is not going to end. It has nothing to do with us. Doesn't. And it's being sponsored by someone. Have you noticed all the tents are the same in every city? They're all those green and white tents.
Yep.
So this is a
Oh,
sponsored.
no, April, you're wrong, April. That's you're just making that up. You kidding?
Well, there's something going on because
Oh,
you have paid agitators out there to create these protests, and we
April,
should be paying attention to what
I,
else is going on now
I
when
gotta
all
back
these
up. I'll
protests
be right
start,
back.
just like BLM. Okay. We should be paying very close attention to what else is happening right now. And it doesn't make any sense why all these tents look the same, no matter if it's Yale, UNC, Florida, they all look the same. So why do they all look the same? If you've ever been to a tent city or a campground, you know that these tents do not look the same. The tents are vary in size and color. We're not having that right now. So something looks strange. Somebody supplied the tents. So it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. You're back.
I am back. It's just I'm having freaking, like I said, I
Yeah.
have a new,
Big because there's a big sale at Dick's Sporting Good. They sponsored the event apparently.
I have a new setup here, guys. I'm like using like new stuff, so it's like I'm all over the
Yeah.
place. I
And
apologize.
Allie's like, anti-Semitism is bad, but anti-Semitism in the name of Palestine is totally cool. What a
Yeah,
fucked up world we're living in.
fine.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I'm not picking a side, okay? Because they're both guilty. They both
Bro, they
always have
both
been
fucked
guilty.
up. They both fucked
They
up. They
have
both fucked up.
they have been horrible to each other forever. But Israel has been there for ages. It was supposed to be the safe space for the people who have gotten kicked out over and over and over again. So people trying to deny that, that's crazy to me. It's been written about in historical text after historical text after historical text. So I don't know. I don't know what this is, but I don't know why people feel the need to protest now when it's been going on forever. And if you know the history, the Jews have been kicked out. They were kicked out of Spain. They've been kicked out of everywhere. So
No, April. That you're
they've
making
got
that up.
one
That's all political
weensy
propaganda.
little piece of land that is theirs. Like, leave them alone. That's all. Leave them alone. This is not about, everything's about a land grab, and it's also about extermination. No. I mean, what else could it be?
I don't know. You know,
why do they keep trying?
These conversations, I can't have these conversations anymore with people that I care about.
I know.
And what I've ended up doing is, unfortunately, I had to back away from people that I genuinely care about. and just disassociate myself from having those conversations. Because, once those conversations start, I'm being made to feel like I'm stupid, or a hateful person, or I should know better. Like I've been told things, and those people have no idea, like, they're saying it. I'm sure they think they're right, and maybe you are right, but I respect your opinion. I just feel that my opinion's not being respected at all. So then I cut you off. I still love you. I still care about you. I'll still check in on you here and there. But unfortunately, it's come to that point.
Mm,
It's really it's been very heavy in my heart. But it
that's
is what it
that's
is.
that's why I'm not taking sides on it. And in Florida here at the university, they're not treating it like New York or UNC or California. They opened fire today on the protesters with rubber bullets and tear
Mm.
gas.
Where
So
where is it? Where?
right here, Tampa.
Oh, because
So
they just
yeah,
the NYPD just infiltrated Columbia University.
yeah, but they did that after they locked themselves in a building and didn't let other students come in. So here in Florida, the minute they started protesting, they just took everybody down,
Mm,
and they arrested them too.
I saw that. I thought it
So
was awesome.
they don't, this is, Florida and Texas are free states, and this is not the area to fuck around and find out.
Oh,
So every single person here carries a gun pretty much. So, and
well, his
the people behind the riot gear take it really seriously. So
here's
it's not the
the
thing.
funny thing, and I want to be really clear real quick. I want to go back to our boy Daryl. Daryl, don't think that I'm jumping down your throat, and don't think we're teaming up on you, because I respect the fact that you feel the way you do, and I really mean that. If you feel like you are better off
Oh,
under this
and we
regime,
wouldn't have had Laurie, the dream expert, on if it weren't for Daryl, because Daryl is the man.
exactly. So I want to make that really freaking clear, that I have the utmost respect for somebody who, will fight and will say what they want to say and believe what they want to say, but at the same time respect, because respect, the opinion of someone else. Because I think if a person like Daryl didn't respect us, he wouldn't be here supporting us. So I appreciate you for that.
Mhm.
I'm just throwing it out there. So
And that's one of the things I love is everybody has different opinions. It's just what drives me nuts is when we're not able to see the bigger picture here and the money at work, following the money and seeing the stuff going on. Here's one of the things I wanted to bring up that I wanted to see what you guys thought. What if there's a 1-2 kind of punch going on to try and weaken the entire country through the children?
explain.
So, all right. So we know anybody, I'm gonna state it and then I'm gonna go backwards. So we know that anybody who has ever had their ass beat, those people usually grow up to be strong people. And if you look at the fighters, the boxers, even the wrestlers, the MMA fighters, they tend to be like very, very strong people. So once you've been held down, choked, punched in the face, you
Mm,
can kind of handle anything.
that's
You know
kind of
what I
hot.
mean?
What?
So, so that's what she said.
Mhm.
So
Or he said.
the kids who grew up getting whooped on the ass with the belt tend to be more physically and mentally strong and capable, right? Those generations. So all of a sudden, there was a mass movement to say spanking is wrong.
Or
It's a
hot.
terrible thing to do. And they made it so the kids could
Or the
punish the
kids.
parents. The
Sorry.
kids, huh?
I'm thinking adults.
Oh, no.
Oh,
So they made it
that's
so the
fine.
kids could rat out the parents. They made it so everybody was mass kind of brainwashed, like, oh no, you can't punish your children anymore. You can't go out and whoop them on the ass with a belt. You can't do that anymore. So now there's no fear. There's no fear, and with fear comes respect. So you can tell a child 1,000 times, don't touch the hot stove. And they're like, whatever. But once they touch the hot stove, the pain is what registers. Pain is a great teacher. So we have that first aspect. You take the ability to punish a child with corporal punishment away from the parents. So now they got to kind of like, oh, what do I do?
Mm.
So there's that. Then you weaken the mind. So every generation until recently eschewed labels. They're like, we don't want any labels, no labels. All of a sudden now you have them embracing labels. These kids embrace labels so much they want to take them to Vegas and fucking marry them.
Oh shit.
So they have them on their bios in social media. Like, I'm autistic, I have bipolar disorder, I'm this, I'm that. It's like, that's not who you are. That's just part of the whole package. Why are you putting that up front? I'm trans, I'm this, I'm multi-binary, rabbit-eared, furry, writer, blah, blah. Like, these are all labels. You understand that, right? So everybody loves their labels now. So now they're encouraging you to go all the time to therapy. Therapy is one of those things where the doctor is paid because you're sick and that you have to keep going back over and over and over and over again, right? So there's a vested interest in giving you more labels, like, oh, you're also OCD. Oh, you're also this. Oh, you're also that. So the more labels you have, the more they can keep prescribing or whatever.
What?
So let's go back a little bit.
What did Winona say here? Apparently you can now identify as a season according to some.
Yeah.
What?
So you can identify as whatever you want. You can have your truth. You can have your very own. You don't have to be in reality. There is no reality. They're going to destroy reality or confuse you. There's no reality. You can have your own truth. There's not the truth. So now we have a weak mind, which is easier to control. You have a weak person who has not been physically punished. They don't know what pain is. And they know they can tell their parents, fuck you, I'm going to call some 3-letter agency on you. So let's go backwards a little bit. So back in the day, Prussia, which is Germany, offered immigrants who were coming to that area free school. So this was their way of breaking the immigrant entrepreneurial spirit. Now, the immigrants at that time were willing to work very, very hard. They would stay up late. They would get up early. They worked their asses off, not unlike Mexicans in this country. So to break their entrepreneurial spirit, they would put them in schools that were free. And this would teach them to sit, stay, work for a certain amount of hours. And this way they could train them to be factory workers, which is exactly where they wanted them. They taught them just enough to not get hit by a car when they cross the road, but nothing about running life, nothing about being an entrepreneur, nothing about real things like, how to be happy or how to handle your finances or how to run a household or anything like that. So these schools that were started back then to indoctrinate and break these entrepreneurial spirits are still the same model of school we are using today. So why wouldn't we still use schools to indoctrinate children? So if you can catch the children at a young age, you have them for life.
Oh, yeah.
So you break them and you weaken them. So they will not respect their parents because they're not afraid of them, because there's no pain. Pain is a great teacher. And then you weaken their mind to where they are so malleable, they will do whatever you want. And this is something I think that this is happening around us. All you have to do is observe. And I think this is actually happening. Sounds crazy, but look around you. What are your opinions? What do you guys think?
Daryl says these labels suck.
Yeah.
We're human beings, plain and simple. What is that? What does Adam say?
Alex says your
Why do I keep
truth.
calling him Adam? I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry, Alex.
Your truth is assign one in a fantasy world. So War Demon says I identify as anything but human. Eva says she identifies as a vagina.
That's what I was laughing at before.
So, I'm not denying things exist. Yes, we have autism. We have bipolar disorder. We are trans or binary or whatever we are. We are that thing. But it's only just a small part of who we are. Why identify as that? We are also we are also pet owners. We also love to be outside. We enjoy playing video games. We can speak fluently in movie quotes. So these things are part of who we are too. We
I'm
love
just
good food.
how many autistic scientists do you think are out there, or doctors? Do you think they
Well, I
identify?
think high functioning autism is a thing with a lot of very, very intelligent, um, smart people.
Absolutely. And the thing is that, these people don't identify. I mean, well, from what I've seen, they don't really choose to identify as an autistic,
Just a touch.
I mean, it's Dr. Steve, or brain surgeon who, this or that, or I just like you said, like me, I'll use myself as an example. I guess you would say I have some type of ADHD,
Hmm,
but that doesn't identify who I am. I put the fact that I'm a father, a husband,
there you go.
a friend, I think a pretty decent coworker,
Mhm.
um, a relatively good person,
A
a protector,
lover.
a lover. Ask my wife. Oh yeah, I'm a lover. And like all those things, like I would rather identify than all of those other really amazing things than choose the one thing that sucks about me. And
Mhm.
sometimes, and
Yes.
it's like, my God, like people are so focused in on just the negative aspect of everything. It's like you ever heard that April, that whole thing that you're having a great freaking day and then all of a sudden you spill a coffee and it's like, oh my God, my day is ruined. And your
Yep.
whole day is ruined because you spilled that one cup of coffee. And I'm using that as an example.
Or you could squeeze your shirt out into your mouth,
Right?
you know,
And you don't have to worry about
carry
filtering
on.
it.
Right, exactly. So,
Just
yeah,
yeah,
if your
just
energy if you constantly focus on, like you said, the bad, not necessarily the bad thing, but the less positive thing about you, isn't that what's gonna be prevalent? Isn't that the energy you're gonna bring to the table?
yeah, man. You don't want to give off that negative energy. It's like if you have it's almost like if you're really a very pretty person, like a handsome man or a pretty woman, but you're a little overweight. I'm fat, but you're
Mm,
beautiful. You make everybody laugh. Oh, but I'm fat.
hmm.
Like why are you focusing on that negative shit all the time? Stop. Like really think about it, guys. Like we allow this little tiny bit, this 5% of who we are, maybe even less sometimes, and we got and that's what we focus on. That's who we are.
To me. So it's like they say that, we're all equal. We aren't. We aren't. But we are all equal in that we are given 24 hours a day to do whatever it is we're going to do.
Mhm.
So, and how you choose to use your time is who you become and how successful you become. So you can choose to spend it scrolling or gossiping or being a victim, or you can choose to spend it learning and doing and enjoying and being a victor. So many people prefer to be a victim rather than kick ass. That's confusing to me. And
Oh,
this is what I'm talking about, like, as far as the weak minds. So, why would you deliberately choose to be weak? So, it seems
yeah.
to be celebrated and coddled now.
By the way, this is one of Jennifer's favorite freaking shows, the
Yeah,
Good Doctor.
yeah.
Is I was gonna say something real
Ah,
quick that
thank you,
okay,
Daryl.
you know how a lot of people also they always, like I said, you're focused on that little thing that's bad, that's wrong with you. What's going on,
Yeah.
Fred? And I wanted to tell you all something, and something I feel that God has kind of like opened up to my heart. Like you can look at let's say I'm going to use LeBron James, even though I think he sucks, but I'm going to use him because that's somebody everybody knows. Yeah, he may be better at you than basketball, right? He may be richer than you because he's better than you at basketball. And you're saying, well, I'm not equal to him. But how do you know deep down inside LeBron James wishes he had your singing voice?
Hmm.
Or, he had the ability to draw or write like you can write. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm getting at is that stop focusing on how great other people are and then find that one thing that you're really amazing at, because everybody's amazing at something,
Mhm.
even if it's something that you think is not really important. There is April, pull your phone away from wherever it is because it's giving feedback, your
Sorry, I was trying
microphone.
to find something. You just reminded me.
What I was gonna say is focusing on that one thing you're really good at and identify with that. Some people may not be good at much, but maybe they're a good mom or a good friend. I'm the best friend anyone could possibly have. How good would that, like, doesn't that make you feel good knowing that you are the person that everybody can depend on?
Mm.
You know? What if you're not good at anything other than me? I can play a little guitar. I can't fucking play guitar. I wish I could play guitar. My hands are too big and dumb. So
Big wig. I'm great at being lazy. I'll keep doing that. You do
that's
your
amazing.
thing. Do you
I
know what?
can't rest.
I'll have you know that the majority of really amazing inventions
Mhm.
have been invented by lazy people.
April, don't you? I think you and I, like, I need to be doing something all the time. I wish I learned how to rest. My wife tells me you need to learn how to relax
Mm,
because I never
I
relax.
don't have
Even when
that
I do,
problem.
that's my problem. See, so I'm April's better at
My
me at.
My Latin makes me sit the hell down.
Well, I'm Latin too, and I feel like
I know. I don't know what you got lost somewhere along the way. It's that pale skin you got.
I'm not that fucking pale, man.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not, bro.
Okay.
I'm peach color.
You are a white Hispanic.
I am, but that's probably my. Because remember, I told you that I'm primarily like I'm like 70% Portuguese.
Oh, okay. That explains it.
So that's like my blood. I'm Portuguese, Italian, and I forgot what the hell else. And then I have a little bit of African, below the waist. But other than that, that's what I am. So maybe that's why I'm white. I don't know.
There you go.
Whatever.
So something yeah. I'll switch topics here because we probably wore this one out, but I would agree with you, and I would love to see people start embracing their strength and their victory and their inner superhero. Honestly, I was talking to a friend of mine who has been struggling lately,
Mm.
and one of the things we were talking about, I was saying that there's a way to be much happier in life, and a lot of people don't know this until you get older, unless you're very lucky or an old soul. And there are 3 major tips, or if you're German, 3 major tips. So this is the first one: is stop caring about what people think of you. They are not thinking about you at all. Most of them are staring at their phone. So go out there and just sing and dance and do what makes you happy. And don't worry about what people think of you, because they're not thinking about you at all. So you might as well enjoy yourself.
I like the sing and dance part. Continue.
Yeah, do your thing. So number 2, when you take things, sorry, hang on. When you think that everybody's thinking about you, this falls into both 1 and 3. When you think that everybody's thinking about you, it means that you are self-conscious and self-centered. So stop being so self-centered. So self-aware is good. Self-centered is not. And number 3, don't make everything about you. It's not. Oh.
You said sing and dance, right? Look at April
Right,
growing.
yes.
Look at you, just being a free spirit, dude. Can I tell you something? I loved seeing this.
Oh, really?
It really did. Like, you made me
Eva
smile.
filmed that.
It was great because you were just going with it. You were just, dancing and enjoying yourself, and there's nobody around you.
Nope.
You're just in this big, beautiful, empty, like this big, cool looking room, just like vibing, man, and just feeling like
Look
good.
at the floor. The floor is
Right?
moving.
How cool is that, guys? So look, so just this, I put this up here not to embarrass you, but to show you that she's practicing what she preaches.
I do. Yep.
That's
I will
fair.
stand there in the middle of a store and just start singing lyrics, and my friends that are around me can attest this. I don't care what people think, and most of them are wearing earbuds anyway. They don't hear you anyway, so I just outburst with things. If somebody gives me a weird look, I'm like, I don't know, Tourette's, whatever. So, but yeah, the last thing there is what was the last thing? I blanked because you threw me because
with the dancing.
don't make everything about you. It's not. So when life gets really good, when you stop taking everything so personally, somebody doesn't get back to your text, not personal. You go on a date and they're not interested in you, or they don't call back, not personal. They got some stuff going on. They're talking to somebody else, whatever. That's you don't get a job. You're not a good fit for the company. That's not personal. Or they've already talked to somebody else. Stop taking things so personally. Stop making it all about you. So stop caring what people think. Stop taking things so personally. You will live a much better life. It'll be
Mhm.
much more quality.
Agree.
I promise you this. I promise you this.
Agree.
So yes, we were at the Wizard of Oz museum, and they said dance, go in and dance, have fun. I'm like, okay.
So I really want to get into the Wizard of Oz museum, but before we do that, because I want to end it more on a high note,
Hmm.
I did want to discuss this story coming out of New York City, which is, as you guys know, here in New York City, and a lot of it just happens to be a lot of the cities that are run by Democratic governors and mayors who are very left wing liberal or extremist, in that, like Chicago and Detroit, and it just so happens to be. But I'm just going by what I see. But this story really broke my heart, man. And this is how the migrant situation is really hurting the people that we once called heroes. That during 9/11 we cheered them, we thanked them. These people who got cancer, like my brother, who's a cop, who got cancer being a first responder. New York City firefighter, age 36, dies of a heart attack after being fired to pay for migrants, leaving his family with nothing. Now, as this scrolls along here, it says New York City firefighter dies after being laid off to pay for migrant crisis. A former NYPD firefighter died of a heart attack on April 15th, just months after he was fired. Now, it continues to say here, this says that is a part of a city's effort to slash the FDNY, that's the fire department of New York City's budget,
Hmm.
by $74 million to free up funds for the migrant crisis. So let me just explain to you what happened. This gentleman was on leave. And by the way, this brother right here, I'm going to pull this up here really quickly. He served 3 tours in the
Oh,
military.
wow.
He served. This man right here is the reason why these knucklehead kids can stand on a lawn wearing a gimmick on their head. I don't know what to say.
Hmm.
And just say how much they hate this country. This guy right here. So basically what happened is that they have this amount of money that the city sets aside when somebody's hurt on the job. And this gentleman was hurt on the job. And apparently it says here that he was it says Floyd has been oh wow, this sucks. Okay, so he's a married father, 2 young children, okay? It says Floyd had been just shy of vesting additional medical benefits for his family and more than $600,000 worth of death benefits when he was booted, leaving his family with nothing despite
Mm.
years of service. And he was about to be cleared to come back.
Hmm.
He wanted to work. So I mean, guys, you can look up this story yourselves. But again, it says here that the NYPD, this is a fact. You can look this up yourself. This isn't just because this newspaper reported. This is a fact. This is a public knowledge that they were slashing. Even the governor and the mayor were talking about slashing budgets to help, pay for those debit cards. You know what I'm saying? They're giving the migrants. And anywho, they cut their budget $132 million for the police academy. Why do you think we have?
I was wondering how you guys were paying for all that. It sounds
Oh,
like insane up there.
well, that's what they're doing. So, Winona, you're saying you would sue. I'm sure that something will come of this whole situation, but that's not the point. The point is this.
Shouldn't have happened to
Some
begin with.
I got into a kind of a discussion with a friend of mine who basically was saying I was wrong. They're people that want to come and they want to work. They all want to work. They're Mexicans,
I
right?
know who you're
They're all
talking
just
about.
they all just and they're not just all Mexicans, guys. I mean, they're people that come from New Guinea. And you're saying, what are you talking about? That's bullshit. No, because where I work, there's a
Actually, we've had I think over 30,000 Chinese nationals come in this year too.
Chinese,
So,
Russian.
yeah.
I mean, they're coming from all over the world, pouring
Yeah.
into our blue cities,
Yeah.
and just, I mean, I hate to say like locusts, but they're like locusts, just absorbing all of the resources that we had put away And the funny thing is that for years we've always said, man, how come the city ain't got no money? It's a shame the city doesn't have any money to help the homeless people.
Mm-hmm.
And then this money just pops up, just happens. Oh, we have all this money, your money, but we have it. What's going on, Marvelous Wolf? So this hurts me the most because I have the utmost respect. Now, this guy's a double hero, a freaking firefighter. He walks into fiery homes to save lives for a living. He was hurt doing that job. He was collecting a disability check, basically. And then he was let go just before he would be fully vested. Think about how low that is, because New York City had to cut a budget because, I don't know, this 23-year-old guy from, let's say, a certain part of Africa went across the Atlantic Ocean down into Mexico, snuck through the border, went over the wall or through the wall that wasn't finished being built, and decided to claim asylum. I don't think it's fair. Now, I want you to contact that woman, the widow, and I want you to look into those two kids' faces, and I want you to tell them everything's going to be fine. The migrant crisis is just blown out of proportion. It's not affecting anyone. This happened before. By the way, I wonder what Christmas is going to be like for this family. Like, I mean, I dare you to do that and then videotape it and send it to me, because I would love to see the look on those kids' faces. I dare you. It doesn't affect you until it does. That's all I'm saying.
That's the problem. A lot of people don't. We have a serious lack of empathy in. I don't know if it's global or if it's
April.
just in this country.
People hate. I'm
They
gonna use
don't
the
get
word
it
hate.
until it happens to them.
Look at me. Look in my eyes when I say this. People hate Donald Trump so much that they refuse. They rather have this country fall apart and suffer. I'm not saying this guy Trump is going to fix everything, because God knows that is an imperfect man. God knows that Donald Trump is no fucking saint, and he's not perfect, and he may not even be great or good. But I'll tell you what, I take him 1,000 times over than anybody that's running for president now.
I was going to say, no, and it's to the point now where my dog could do a better job. Quite honestly,
Fuck.
I'm willing to take my job with 91 indictments. Or
I'm
my
sincerely
chances. I'm willing to take my chances at this
April,
point.
I'm sincerely. Just don't get mad at me.
Have a good night.
You leaving? Listen. I'm sincerely thinking about Kennedy.
Oh, I am too. Yeah, RFK is amazing.
I'm
He's
sincerely
amazing.
thinking
And
about
he's
Kennedy.
gaining a lot of traction, and he stands out, and he's against big pharma. And yeah, I honestly, the perfect ticket would be those two on the same ticket, honestly. And everybody joining us late. Hello, New Jersey Wildcat. Hi. I see. I didn't get a chance to say hi to Wolf. I see Red Sunny. You guys coming in late. Thank you.
And everybody say goodnight to War Demon. Good night, War Demon.
War Demon. Good night.
See you, buddy.
Marvelous Wolf says he has some good news. I wanted to give you guys some quick news too.
Yeah. Tell us the good news in the chat, Marvelous Wolf.
Okay. So, and I got some news for you guys as well, that you might not hear on the regular news. So let me dig these out.
You have good news. I like good news.
No, not good news. I have regular news. Just news that you might not hear in the regular news.
Oh, it's better than bad news though.
It's just news, stuff that you're not hearing in regular newspapers probably. So 8 new newspapers have sued OpenAI and Microsoft for copyright infringement.
Cool.
That should be an interesting thing to pay attention to. Let's see what else is going on. Ozempic turned I'm going to say this wrong. Turned their creator, which is Novo Nordisk. I think I'm saying that wrong. I wrote down. I did shorthand on here. Into a $4 billion company with more than 65% of the total prescriptions from this company since 2022 being Ozempic. Unfortunately, a lot of them have some pretty brutal side effects with weight loss drugs. And this particular weight loss drug is no walk on the beach. So everybody should be aware of that if they choose to go that route. If it were easy to lose weight and all you had to do is take a pill, if it were easy to look good, everybody would. So
Hey,
it takes discipline.
April,
So
you have your notes in front of you?
yeah, I do.
Got some breaking news here.
What's that?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have some breaking news. With the latest news out in the field, we have the very handsome Big Ray Hernandez. Ray, take it away.
There you go.
Thank you, Ray. Well, apparently, Marvelous Wolf, he stated that he's gotten 70 out of 70 and passed all his classes.
Woo!
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
He gets a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
You got
Marvelous
3 A's
Wolf.
and a C. Very beautifully done.
3 A's
Beautiful.
and 1 C. The C is for charismatic. Congratulations. I just wanna-
So yeah.
Congratulations. I'm sorry, I
Yes,
had to
well
interrupt
done.
you. This is
No,
great.
no, that's
fucking
okay.
news.
That's more important.
Oh,
So
it
yeah,
is.
people in the chat are adding in their 2 cents about
Send
it.
some love.
So yes, we're not seeing good comments in the chat about Ozempic. So be aware of that. There is a push to push it on people. We are a heavy country with a lot of obesity, so they are going to push this on you.
So
It is not safe. Ozempic, yeah.
It's not safe, you're saying?
I know it is not. So there's not a weight loss drug that has ever been out that has not caused long-term issues, including death.
Do you remember Ally?
Yes, I do. And
Yo.
fen, which ruins people's hearts.
Listen, I remember one time I tried Ally.
Did you shit your brains out?
I'm gonna share something with you guys. I used Ally, and on the way home, my stomach started doing the roll. And let's just say,
Did you have anal leakage?
Side
effects might include anal leakage.
Yeah, and I stopped using that shit. Literally.
Yeah.
That was horrible.
It pulls the oil out of things, and you can't. Yeah.
You have your butt. Your
It comes out of your
butthole
butt.
Your butthole always felt like you had
butthole.
so disgusting.
Oh, well, apparently Ozempic is like, wow, it causes stomach twisting, and I think it's called violent throwing up. It's called screaming throwing up, to where you're throwing up so hard you're screaming at the same time. So because it's so painful, it's crazy. Anyway, okay, so vampire facials in New Mexico. A bunch of women tried vampire facials in New Mexico and contracted HIV from the needles. So this is where they collect your blood, spin it, take the plasma out, reinsert the plasma into you. And apparently something was going on there where they contracted HIV from the needles. So maybe don't give that to mom for Mother's Day. We already talked about Tampa campus with the tear gas and the rubber bullets. Sorry, I can't help laughing. So gold is up. Gold and silver are the only things that are up on the stock market right now, which is cheap plug if you want to keep your everything sustainable and growing. And gold and silver have sustained while all government currency has collapsed at some point or another. Check out aprilhunter.gold. Aprilhunter.gold. That's Wolfpack Gold. And you can see if there's a package there that is a veteran-run business. It's not mine. It's just my URL. A veteran business that might be there for you. With as little as $50, you can drop a few bucks in to invest. And if you use the code 1776, you get some free constitutional silver. Which remind me, Wizard of Oz is about exactly that, gold and silver.
So tell me about Wizard of Oz.
I will. But let me finish with these other things that people should know about real quick. Shit. A new study shows that the RSV vaccine has been approved for pregnant people. But this has equaled a high incidence of preterm birth. The FDA approved it anyway, despite no data being released that there has been any prevention of RSV. So it is causing birth issues. Be aware of that. So I find that horrific that they are approving all these vaccines for pregnant people when women are not allowed to have a glass of wine or a piece, a shellfish or, unpasteurized cheese. So why would you be able to take a vaccine? This is unbelievable. You're not even supposed to have a cup of coffee. Give me a break.
Can I just tell you, the whole wine thing, I think is bullshit. Because for thousands...
Get that baby drunk. Get them drunk.
I'm just saying, like for thousands of years, especially if in Italy, in France, and
I
like all
know.
these European countries, everybody fucking drinks, even when they're
Yeah,
fucking pregnant.
I know.
I'm not saying to
I would
abuse
think
alcohol.
you're 9.5 months, almost 10 months pregnant. You're going to need a glass of champagne or wine there. You're going to need it
And
at some
now
point.
listen, I want to make it clear so we don't get sued. We're not saying go drink. I'm just saying, in my opinion, I don't know if there's anything wrong with it, but do your own research. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah, vaccine for the common cold coming to you soon. Sponsored by Pfizer. Yeah, what Alex is asking, what's more valuable, gold or silver? Gold has always been more valuable as far as I know.
Silver, I think, is more steady when it
I
comes
believe so.
to it holds
Yeah.
its value better.
Yeah.
Because gold does go up and down, but silver, from what I understand, is a little more like steadfast. It doesn't really change much, but you can do your research also.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
Oh, and
right.
I believe you're correct. And Canada Spaceman is saying he likes the new posting of an old video. Yeah, every week I've been trying to add to my YouTube page and add a new video. So I added this week Velvet Sky and myself at McDonald's back when 5 people could eat for
Get out of
$20.
here. Is
Somebody
it there?
pointed out, yeah,
I want to show it.
yep. Yeah,
I'm
it's a
looking for
mess.
it.
We're a mess. We were as after show, we were hungry, we were talking way too much. Don't show it. So, but yes, go on my YouTube, which is April Hunter. Um, yeah, Daryl says, true story. My mother threw up so bad when she was pregnant with me, she broke a vein in her left ear. She's deaf in that
Christ.
ear ever since. Oh my God. Wow. That's not fun. So yeah, so that's some of the news that you guys should be aware of. We went, as you saw me dancing around, we went to the Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz Museum.
What's this? Are you
No.
putting this up?
Yes, I'm putting that up.
What is this? Who is
It's
this?
just a mess. It's a mess. We were young and hungry and talking too much.
Is that you? Hold on.
No, that's not me.
Wait, I know that what's her
That's
name?
Talia Velvet, Jamie.
Oh, who's that behind her?
That's Doug. I think he's
Basham?
no. I think he's
That's
not,
you.
that's me. Yeah.
Oh, look at dollars. $5. How much could you get with $5?
You could get a lot for $5 at that point. This is 17-ish years ago, 15 years ago.
She looks the same, by the way.
So yeah, she does.
You guys age well, both of you guys.
Thank
You
you.
guys look the same. You don't look any different.
So that's, well, okay, we'll take it, right? We'll take it. But yeah, Frank Baum wrote, it was a teacher.
Mm.
And I didn't know all of this, but he was frustrated with his kids in this class, and he was trying to teach them real things that mattered, and they didn't care, which, normal for kids.
Yeah.
So he wrote The Wizard of Oz so he could teach them about life in a more fun way. So in the book, I'm going to guess is about, no, it's probably more like 2000. I'm going back and forth. The video with Velvet Sky is probably more like 2007. I'm going to guess ish. So a little older. And the book I'm talking about now is 1900s. So we're going to scoot around 100 years here. So in the book, the slippers that Dorothy wore was silver. But because the film was the very first colorized film, they changed them to red. So they stood out. So being as though the slippers were silver and the yellow brick road was gold, it was a play on the commentary of us going from the silver standard to the gold standard.
Mm.
And Oz, behind the green, everything was green, the Emerald City, was supposed to be the stock exchange and the greenbacks and the financial system. So it was a reference to what was going on in the turn of the century in the 1900s, and how the money was getting all kinds of screwed up at that point, because we were changing over from silver to gold and different things. So Dorothy was in a black and white. It was black and white, and then we went to full color. Mm-hmm. So it was her between two worlds. There's a metaphysical meaning too. It was very, very fascinating. And I don't know if people just watch it verbatim or if they try and translate everything there. So what I thought was interesting is the flying monkeys. They were supposed to represent the Native Americans.
Mm.
So
really,
I'm not sure if that was at that time, 1900s. So yeah, but Over the Rainbow was also supposed to, the song that was written there was supposed to have a meaning as well. that was deep rooted in the Israel culture.
Yeah, I always felt that song it touched my heart for
Yeah.
some reason. It's very beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's a lot of meaning to it, whether you were looking at it from a social commentary or metaphysical, kind of like how what's the other one? Alice in Wonderland is very metaphysical. So it's very interesting how we watch these things when we're kids and then kind of recall them later. It's like, oh, okay, that's what that meant. So Jersey Wildcat is saying, "Oh, I remember Velvet when she was with NWA Cyberspace." Yeah, yeah, I think I brought her in there.
I just want to throw up real quick. Let's go, Knicks.
I don't care.
I know you don't, but I
Yeah.
do.
It's bread and circus.
I'm very sad.
Okay.
Knicks lost.
Yeah,
yesterday.
and Bigwig says, okay, so you guys know this already. Bigwig says the Wicked Witch represented the bankers. Yeah, I think the flying monkeys they were trying to get the flying monkeys to do the job for them, and then they were trying to manipulate the Tin Man and the Lion and everybody to also do the job for them with Oz that they couldn't do. So they were trying to use fear. Speaking of using fear.
Mm.
So yeah. And we always refer in wrestling to the man behind the curtain controlling the show. So
The Book of Man.
Yeah.
The pencil.
So anyway, yeah, it was very, very interesting. It was over in Cocoa Beach. If you get a chance to check that museum out, highly recommend it. They also have a pirate museum not too far away as well. Yes.
In the description, you wrote a Christmas story and how to handle anxiety, and you wanted to talk about the beach in Florida.
The beach in Florida. I think that was it. But the Christmas story, I went to a Comic-Con and I bought this book from a local author.
Oh, that's
so yeah. So do you guys love Christmas?
I fucking love Christmas.
I do too, right? So as soon as I saw Christmas Addict on his table, I was like, oh. So the author's name is Jason Korsiak. I'm sure you can find the book anywhere. But I wanted to read you the first couple pages because I think you'll find this interesting, and it kind of ties into this fun Mark Twain quote that I heard earlier. So the man who does not read has no advantage over the man who cannot read. So I've always thought about that. If you don't read, you're choosing to be illiterate. So do you want to hear this? Do you want to hear it? Want to hear it? Want to hear it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'll tell the premise of this.
And this is like a very Christmas centric gimmick, right?
Yes. So here's the thing. When he explained the book to me, he loves Christmas, and he did a Christmas in July with his friends. And he loved the whole giving and the whole spirit that happened there. And he was thinking to himself, why can't we actually carry this on all year long? So this is his personal story to try it. So no, don't do the music. It's terrible and distracting. So here's a page or three. Hello, my name is Jason Korsiak, and I'm addicted to Christmas. This is the part where if we were sitting in a circle, you would reply, "Hi, Jason," and I would feel empowered, having gotten that off my chest, and I would look forward to a journey of ridding myself of my addiction. Others who came before me would impart their words of wisdom on me and would guide me through the process. I'd draw strength from them and, step by step, come to that place of places wherein I would confess within myself that I was, in fact, a Christmas addict. And I would always be one, but that I was simply choosing not to indulge in my addiction anymore. Oh, sure, it would be difficult around the holidays. I would have to turn down any number of party invites. I would need to focus my attention like a laser in stores and not let myself wander down the seasonal aisles, lest the lure of lights and glittering baubles bump me off the wagon. Family and friends would feel inconvenienced and maybe even make fun of my plight. After earning my 1-year chip, they likely wouldn't join in on my non-celebrations, and that's to say nothing of the dating scene. If you think it's hard to meet people if you have kids or are a smoker, imagine how tough it would be explaining to a stranger that you don't celebrate Christmas because you can't control yourself around it. No, I'd remain alone, my world smaller and smaller as an empty spot in the corner where the blinking tree once stood taunts me each year. Then, one day, I would happen upon a radio station playing carols and unconsciously sing along. It was just one carol, I would tell myself, but deep down, I would know better. Soon, I would trick myself into putting out a tree. Just a small one, of course, for the sake of nostalgia. Really, it's just to prove how much I don't need it. Then a nativity, for religious purposes, mind you. Sooner or later, I'd be back where I started, surrounded by a billion lights and watching Rudolph for the 25th time that month. Finally, once Advent was over and done having its way with me, I had once again faced the bitter truth. My name is Jason Korziak, and I am addicted to Christmas. Here's the thing, though. I don't want to quit. I don't want help. I don't want an intervention. What I want is more Christmas.
Yes.
Every Christmas, we're told that we should keep the spirit all year. Our most beloved specials tell us to do so, as do the sermons at church. And yet most of us box it up come January 1st and forget the lessons it taught us. We forget the feelings it stirred in us. We forget the forgiveness extended to us and through us. We muster enough Yuletide goodwill for a month or two when we aren't killing each other in department stores over the perfect gift. And then we go right back to our miserable selves as soon as the ball drops on New Year's Eve. It's like permission. It's like a permission countdown. Resume your regularly scheduled judgment towards others in 10, 9, 8. So I wondered to myself, what would happen if we actually did it? What if we really did celebrate Christmas all year? Would we be kinder? Would we be more generous? Would we be more patient with the foibles of others? I think so. My hypothesis is the world would be a better place if there was more Christmas in it. I couldn't test this theory on the world naturally, but as a hopeless Christmas addict, I was as good a candidate for a case study as anyone. My plan is to celebrate Christmas at least once a month for a year and monitor my attitude. Would it help me be a better person? Would it enhance my Christmas experience when it rolls around? Or would having it monthly make it less special? Would I even be able to pull it off? The answer to these questions and more await you in the chapters ahead, a journal I maintained for an entire year, chronicling my experiences and the insights they gave me. The following stories are true. The names have been changed to keep me off the naughty list.
Oh, I was going to start playing the music to sign off because I thought it was a great way. But before we start signing off,
everybody's saying Mick Foley, Mick Foley, Mick Foley. That's exactly who I thought of with this book too.
It's true. It's like, during that time of the year, whether you hate it or not, it's just people just seem to be nicer. The attitude of people is, it's better. People are a little more patient. I don't know, man. It's just a better time. I love that time of year from like October into January it's a gift every year to me. I literally enjoy the holiday season. I don't care what holiday you celebrate. I don't care if you celebrate freaking Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Christmas, all the Jewish holidays, all the Palestinian holidays. It's just a great time of year. Thanksgiving, though. And it's not even because of the food. I don't know what it is about Thanksgiving that I love so much, but it was a special time. And it was a time that we literally always got together. My father, my mother, my brothers, everybody would get together and eat together. So that was lovely. That was really nice.
I'm looking forward to reading it. I love the lights and the food.
That's another thing. We don't
the everything.
We should have Christmas all year round.
Well, I mean, it's something to think about. I mean, you could have people over for meals or hors d'oeuvres and decorations, and I keep up Christmas lights all year round. So, but in Florida, we call them fairy lights. Yeah.
So do we. Like me and Jen, we have the lights around one of our cabinets, and we have lights over our TV. It's just it brings warmth into the house.
Yeah, there's something about it. It makes me happy. In the wintertime when we lose that hour and it gets dark early, it's depressing. So I put out all the solar lights and the Christmas lights, and I'm just like, oh, this is nice because the lights bring you up. When I was I don't know if I could be that cheerful all the time.
Now, could you imagine if it stayed daytime till 8 o'clock, till past 8 o'clock during Christmas? That would be perfect.
You mean like other states that don't change their thing? Yeah.
Right. Basically.
Oh, Winona's saying, yeah, no, Halloween year round I could do.
I used to not like Halloween. I
Yeah.
really, it was never one of my favorite holidays, but the more it's become, I think it's become bigger than it ever has been,
hmm
and I think people have changed. I think it's better now. I don't know if it's
Halloween.
just me. I think so.
Yeah, I found myself putting up Halloween lights this year
Ooh.
because I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing the Christmas thing with the Halloween thing, but it was fun. So yeah, I got caught up in the commercialism of it, and I thought it was pretty and it cheered me up. So there you go.
Did you have a pumpkin? Did you have a great pumpkin?
Yeah.
Like a
And
real
pumpkins.
pumpkin?
Yeah, we did. We have pumpkin carving at my house, pumpkin painting, roasting the seeds. We do the seeds with in butter. You toss them in melted butter with salt, jalapeno salt, pepper, smoked paprika, and garlic, and then you roast
That
them.
sounds
They're
good.
so good. Yes,
See, I am a sucker for pumpkin and sweet potato pie.
yes,
Oh, I don't-
yes.
pumpkin pie is like one of my number ones, man. But
Mhm.
all that being said, April, we had some sad stories. We had some good stories. I really love the way you ended the story. You should read us a book every night before bed. You want to do that moving forward?
I
Every
think,
show?
well, I mean, half the stories that I pull out are from. You should see. I have a bookshelf in every room here, and some rooms have too. So half the stuff I'm digging out to talk to you guys about are from books. So yeah,
Books? What's that?
from
I have the
books,
internet.
books. So yeah, I can read you guys stories. You want to hear stories?
I wouldn't mind.
You want me?
Stories.
I could read you my story. I could read you my children's book one of these days.
You have a children's book?
Yes.
How the hell have
You
we been
didn't
doing
know
the show?
that?
No, we've been doing the show for 3 years, and you never told me that.
What? Go on.
No.
You can go to Barnes and Noble, go on Amazon, and look up Monty: A Tale of No Tail. Mhm.
I'm gonna do that, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know, April. Is there anything you want to tell the people, our friends?
Wait.
What?
Before you go, you've got a minute.
Hang on,
Go
April.
look it up and share the screen and look at it.
I'm gonna do it right now. So
Because you're
just
gonna laugh because you'll see something on the cover.
so I want you to talk to the people while I bring this. So
I
what
will
is it
do
called
that.
again?
Monty: A Tale of No Tail. Mhm.
Monty. Okay, I'm gonna look it up now.
Yeah.
Right. Talk to people.
Owen, thank you very, very much. Oh, big week. So they read it to his son before bedtime. Yay. I appreciate that. I'm reading all your comments now. So yeah, it is cool how many people went out and trick-or-treated. We need more Halloween parties, like all year round. I think that's why Ren Fair is so fun and Comic Cons are so fun. That's sort of like Halloween all year round. And Fred, if you're still in Tampa, let's see if I don't know if we can still catch up or not, but let's try. Yes, that's my book. That's one of two of them. I have another one on Barnes and Noble called
Yeah, but who's this AHK? Who's this?
That's me for children purposes. That's
I know,
me.
April.
Yes. It's my
Is this the
corgi.
back?
Yeah.
Shut up. Let me see.
Yeah.
It says it says Monty is a dog who lives on a farm and likes to chase butterflies and run through the hay. The horses and pigs and sheeps all laugh at him and won't play with him because he doesn't look like the other dogs. This is hard to do, guys. I'm trying to hold
Yeah, I
this
know.
steady. You see, Monty is a corgi. So he is so he has short, stumpy
legs and no tail. But when the Queen's
says-
crown is stolen, the very things that make Monty different also make him a hero. So it's based on the ugly duckling.
That's
So
Monty
he's
right
ridiculed and made fun of because he doesn't look like the other animals. He doesn't have long legs and a long, beautiful tail. So he just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. And once he got into the right place at the right time, it was, it worked out well for him. So
Very cool. So go buy it. You get it on Kindle. It's just $6. It's cheaper than a cup of coffee from freaking.
It is. There's a paperback. There's a paper version and a Kindle version.
There you go. And then you have the paperback for $11. Again, both. You can get half a Starbucks coffee for that. So
yeah,
just saying. Well, thank you for sharing that, April. I had no idea, and thank you for hiding things from me.
Oh, I have another one on Barnes and Noble called Undisclosed Darkness. It's 4 short stories that are very dark. So that was my first book. So
Undisclosed Darkness.
Undisclosed Darkness. Tales of of cheating and horror and rape. Yes.
Oh no rape. You can leave the rape out, kid.
Well, anyway. They're all fiction.
Well,
Fun with fiction.
Well, I'm going back to the dentist again tomorrow.
That should be fun.
They're working on things, trying to get me back to my beauty, Anyway, April, what do you got going on, April?
Oh, let's see. I think I'm going to be on Shelley's. I'm on Shelley's podcast. It's coming up at her 420 smoking one that comes out every so often.
Freaking with Jesus, what's his name?
Stoner Jesus.
Stoner Jesus asked me to come on the show and never got back to me. I think he got high and forgot.
He probably got Stoner Jesus. Yeah, so I'll be on his. I don't know if it's live or not, but I'll be doing that on Sunday.
Do me a favor.
What's that?
Live on the show, be like, Stoner Jesus, were you so high that you forgot to get back to Big Ray? I'm not gonna. Because if you reach out to me and say, "Yo, come on the show, do the podcast with me," I'll do it. But I'm not gonna be like, "Hey, remember me?" You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I wanted to do it, but
Pierce, what's up? Yeah, good day,
legends.
So and let's see. I have a couple things coming up in June for some Comic Cons and horror conventions, but they're a little bit ahead. So we will catch that in the future. The age appropriation for that children's book is probably around what? Anywhere from 2 to 5. I'm gonna guess. That's a big age gap right there. I'm gonna say 3 to 5. Bad. Yeah.
Cool.
Somebody else. I don't have kids, so somebody might be able to answer that question better. I am still a child, so that's why I can.
Child at fart.
Yes. I can write these things. Yeah.
She's a child at fart, ladies and gentlemen. Well, you can follow us on social media, April Hunter. You can find me at Big Ray Hernandez everywhere. Where can they find you?
Real April Hunter on Instagram, April Hunter on Twitter, Patreon April Hunter, and aprilhunter.net for my own site.
Hey, did you know whenever Pierce Austin or Jimmy T come on our show, I play their theme song and we'll play out to it. Would you like to know what the theme song is?
Sure.
It's an old Australian song.
He turns to his mates who are gathered around and he says, "Watch me wallabies feed, mate. Watch me wallabies feed. They're a dangerous breed, mate. So watch me wallabies feed all together now. Tie me kangaroo down, sport. Tie me kangaroo down. Tie me kangaroo down, sport.
Bye, guys.
See you next week, Wednesday, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Thank you for being with us live. Mwah.
Bye, guys.